What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Crime Rush. I'm Inga, and today I'm back with an update on the whole P.Diddy saga. Now, I covered the whole story, and I even went back to his childhood and the Tupac and Biggie days, and I just covered it all up until the recent events. So I suggest you go and watch that video to fill yourself in before continuing with this one. But if you feel that you know everything and that you are up to date, then stay put for this update. As I'm sure you are aware, Sean Puffy Combs has a lot going on in his life at the moment. He's got many allegations against him and many lawsuits. But today we'll be focusing on one lawsuit in particular, and that's the one of Joi Dickerson-Neal. In her lawsuit, Dickerson-Neal alleges that in 1991, Diddy put substances in her drink without her knowing, so he laced her drink. He then forced himself on her sexually, videotaped it all, and afterwards went bragging to his friends and showing everyone the tape. Now, Dickerson-Neal was only 19 years old at the time, and she was on a winter break from college. But she only filed these charges in November of 2023, a week after Cassie Ventura filed her civil lawsuit against P.Diddy, which they settled outside of court only a day later. Dickerson-Neal's lawyer wrote in her lawsuit, and I quote, "After dining at the famous Wells restaurant in Harlem, Combs pushed her to keep him company as he attended to a few things in the city. Getting into Combs' car that day was something Miss Dickerson would come to regret forever. During their date, Combs had intentionally drugged Miss Dickerson, resulting in her being in a physical state where she could not independently stand or walk. Driving first to a music studio where she could not get out of the car, Combs proceeded to a place he was staying to SA her. As was his practice, unbeknownst to Miss Dickerson, Combs video recorded the assault. Days later, a male friend revealed to her that he had viewed the sex tape along with other men. Horrified, Miss Dickerson asked how many others saw it, to which he responded, "Everyone." End quote. She alleges that the person who said he saw the tape along with other people was none other than Devontae Swing from the R&B group Jodeci. Dickerson-Neal went on to claim that Devontae Swing was so scared that they would lose their record deal if he spoke up, so he rather decided to stay silent. Dickerson-Neal attended Syracuse University at the time, and she was asked to appear in one of Diddy's music videos. And that is how she came to meet the music mogul. He soon then asked her on a date, and she went with him, and this is when this horrible ordeal took place. And she claims that afterwards, she went back to university, but she couldn't complete her studies because she became extremely depressed, and she was actually having thoughts of self-deleting, and eventually booked herself into a psych ward at a local hospital. Now, so many people now are saying, why now? Why is she coming out with this now? Because this happened in 1991. Well, Dickerson claims that at the time she actually did go and file a police report in New York and New Jersey, but she was told that she needed people to corroborate her story. In the lawsuit, she claims, I quote, "Some potential witnesses were afraid of Combs' wrath, as he was known to be violent, while others declined because they feared they would not be invited to his future parties and events." End quote. So let me just get this straight. They didn't do the right thing because they were scared they were not going to be invited to a party. I mean, I think if they really knew what was going on at these parties, they wouldn't want to go anyway. But it's too late now. Many, including Diddy, are accusing Dickerson-Neal of seeking a payday after hearing that he settled with Cassie outside of court. But then the other side are saying that this girl couldn't possibly have said something at the time, and even if she did, nothing would have came from it. And the fact that Cassie Ventura stood up to Diddy now has given many victims the courage to stand up to him and to take him on for what he did to them. I mean, both scenarios seem plausible, right? But if you take a look at this man's track record, which I detail in my other video about him, by the way, then all of this sounds like something that he is capable of and something I wouldn't put past him. But now Diddy is hitting back. And I'm sorry to say this, but his lawyer is doing a pretty good job and has some pretty valid points. Do I think he's innocent? No, I think he's guilty. But I do think he will weasel his way out of this particular lawsuit. He, of course, is denying all of her claims. He filed a motion to dismiss her lawsuit, and it said, I quote, "Without addressing the complaint's numerous false, offensive, and salacious accusations, which the Combs defendants vehemently deny, substantially all of the claims purportedly alleged by Joi Dickerson-Neal cannot survive this motion to dismiss. They were brought under statutes that did not exist at the time the alleged misconduct occurred and against corporate entities that were not formed." End quote. So in a nutshell, Sean's defense is basically that Dickerson-Neal is filing this lawsuit under laws that weren't in existence at the time of the alleged SA. One example of this could be the revenge I can't say the word. Revenge P law did not exist in 1991. So he cannot be held responsible for not following the law if that law didn't exist at the time, which is an incredibly good point to make. I hate to say it, but it is a good point. Furthermore, because Dickerson-Neal is also suing Bad Boy Entertainment, Diddy claims that Bad Boy Entertainment wasn't even in existence at the time. In fact, he only opened Bad Boy Entertainment a year after the alleged assault. So you can see how this is a bit of a problem for Joi Dickerson-Neal. And this lawyer of his is one smart cookie. And I think it's going to be very difficult to win this case with these valid points that they are just bringing out right now. You see, I told you, this is a very good defense that they've laid out. And I'd be surprised if he didn't get away with this one. But I want to know your opinion. What do you think? Do you think he's going to get out of this particular lawsuit? Or what do you think about it? I'm no lawyer. If there is a lawyer watching, I would love to know your opinion and your thoughts on the situation. But in my opinion, I don't know. I think he's going to get away with this one. And we also need to keep in mind that Joi Dickerson-Neal filed this lawsuit under the Adult Survivors Act, a New York law permitting victims of sexual abuse a 1-year window to file civil action regardless of the statute of limitations of the crimes themselves. And she filed this suit just in time because it was about to expire. So a thought I had was that her lawyer was in a rush when he filed this lawsuit. He didn't check up on his dates, and that's why they made these crucial mistakes that Diddy's lawyer is now picking apart. And it's not that I don't believe her, because I actually do believe that he did something to her. It's just my opinion.
That's my opinion!
But I think they didn't file this lawsuit properly. I think they needed to do more research and to check their dates and to check their facts before they did it. They did it in too much of a rush, and now it's probably going to be thrown out. I've also heard that Diddy's lawyer is looking into Lil Rod, who has made the most recent claims against P.Diddy and filed a lawsuit against him. And I heard he is going into Lil Rod's background and trying to paint him as a character that cannot be trusted and not a credible person to listen to at all. But we'll have to see with that one. I'm not so sure he's going to get out of that one, depending on what the police and the feds found in his homes. But I'm watching along with the rest of you to see what's going to happen there. Because as of now, he has not been arrested and things have actually gone a little bit quiet. But I'm going to feed you guys updates as soon as I have them, and I'll keep them coming. I'm just waiting for all the news to come out and to be worthy enough for me to share with you. But thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to let me know what your thoughts are, what your opinions are, and please make sure to stay respectful in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.